10 seconds.
Any last words?
Rejection is redirection. If I don't get in, that means I was destined to go somewhere else, right? Fuck.
All right, man. This
All
is
right.
it. This is it.
It's time to check.
Your moment.
You can view your decision.
Oh my God.
New update. Congratulations! Oh my god! I got in! Holy shit! Oh my god! What? Ah! Ah! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
What the hell,
Holy
man?
fuck!
How does it feel to be Duke, man? Who would you like to thank?
Thank myself. And I did all this. How? Why did they even like my essays? My extracurriculars are so ass. Oh my god, I gotta update my Instagram bio. Oh, I gotta buy soda right now. Oh my god, I can't believe it.
All right. Welcome to another episode of the podcast. We have a special guest. I have my youngest brother, Alan, here. Hi, Alan. How are you doing?
Didn't expect to be on a podcast, let alone the brothers podcast, but it's good to try new things.
It definitely feels weird to talk in a more professional manner because we don't talk like that.
We don't. We really do
don't.
not.
So, especially with a camera pointing at us too. So, but welcome back to California.
Yeah.
So, Alan has been at Duke for almost 4 years. So he graduated a little bit early.
Yep.
So tell us a little bit about your time at Duke.
Yeah, so I study economics at Duke, and the way it works is you can also have like a concentration within each major. So I was concentrated on finance. So I spent like 3.5 years at Duke, graduated a semester early, but I actually didn't get to campus until my spring of my freshman year because of the COVID-19 pandemic. So I mean, there's a lot we could unpack there, but I feel like my college experience was like a little different from most people because of that. So
A little different. Okay, so different because you didn't have the start that a lot of college students had.
I will say, yeah, like I did not have the start. Like a lot of people when they go to college, they have orientation. They're able to meet like a lot of different people, new friends in that first week. I didn't have that. Like in the first week, I was so lonely. I had no friends. Like all I did was call home, call my friends from home. I didn't really meet anyone until halfway through the semester through classes that I had. So it was definitely a big adjustment.
You didn't call me.
We did call. What are you talking about? We would like call. We would like literally play games on Discord.
That's not calling.
That's calling.
That's convenience.
That counts as calling.
That's convenience.
No.
You're just there. You needed someone to play games with you. Other than that, you wouldn't call.
You needed companionship too. I'm pretty sure, especially Anthony too. Like that man, that brother needs help.
We can expose him like that. So I mean, now that you've graduated, what's your plans?
Yeah, so I'm going to actually be working full time in investment banking over in San Francisco. So it's going to be a stressful job, but excited to get started in July.
Wow, so big money moves right here.
Yeah, working on Wall Street, but in San Francisco.
Bro, why didn't you just go to New York and work there?
I visited New York a couple times. Junior high school. I mean, you did this too. Went to Carnegie Hall to perform as part of my school's orchestra. And I'd say like New York is a fine place to visit, but I wouldn't want to live there. That place is a dump. Like the subway's got rats everywhere. Like at least in San Francisco, right? Like, the public transportation was actually like pretty efficient. and also like the weather, it's like a constant 60 degrees year round. And I guess I just want to be back in California because West Coast is the best coast, you know? You know what I'm saying?
So San Francisco, mild weather, no rats. I'm
No
assuming.
rats, no rats. Yeah.
Do you plan on living there long term then, or what are your goals? What is your goal in life?
That is a hard question to ask someone who's 21, but,
But, 21-year-olds have dreams.
true. I feel like my dreams changed a lot. In high school, man, I wanted to do like aerospace engineering. I wanted to be like physics major, and then eventually,
What?
yeah, you didn't
When?
know that? Yeah,
No.
dude. High school, I was like, I don't even know why. I think I was so inspired by like sci-fi. I just thought it was really cool, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll do aerospace. And then I took AP Physics. That class sucked. I hated that class so much. So I just decided to do econ. But anyways, I will say as of right now, I mean, long term, thinking about just staying the path in finance. After investment banking, might go into like private equity or venture capital. We'll see. Um, I think something down the line that I was also thinking of was I kind of wanted to go back to business school and then start my own consulting firm.
Okay.
But I mean, we'll see. That's like a long shot. I've always wanted to own my own company though. But we'll see if that pans
You've mentioned a lot of things that I did not know about
out.
in terms of your goals and dreams because you're very quiet in terms of what you want to
Dude, you
accomplish.
never asked me, or why would I just randomly tell you my goals and dreams? Yeah,
I don't know. I thought we're family. You're
we're
supposed to be
family. I
supposed to be
tell you
safe to
things.
like what? What have you told me?
I tell you like personal things, like things
Okay.
that happen.
Okay, fair, fair.
I just like I don't know. That's another thing. Like I wouldn't just go up to Tao and or Anthony, sorry, and tell them my aspirations in life. Like that's just not something that I don't even really go to my friends and tell them that either. I don't know. I didn't think anything of it. Really.
Interesting. I mean, we can always have you do that now. Go up to
Nah,
him and
I
tell
don't
him about your
know.
aspirations.
I
Want to
guess
be
if
an
you
aerospace engineer? But since when?
that was a phase, like 3 months of high school.
Why did you think about healthcare?
I, man, I don't know. Like that was my mom. Our mom really pushed me to be a doctor and such, and I just never really wanted to. I don't know. That was just in spite of like my mom, like because I didn't want to just follow what she wanted me to do. I guess like I didn't really enjoy like the aspects that I saw of like being a doctor or being a dentist. I kind of wanted something that like was more up my alley. Like I kind of like talking to people, kind of like finance. That's so like med stuff didn't really appeal to me that much.
So I'm so confused as to how you got into economics and finance because I wonder, was there something in particular in your life that pivoted you towards that route?
I don't think it was like one specific moment. I honestly think it was like accumulation of a lot of different experiences. I think like having the exposure of our parents owning a business, that was the first thing. I thought it was kind of cool just seeing them like operate that independently. And then also in high school, just watching a ton of Shark Tank.
Oh yeah.
That stuff was actually really interesting to me. And they started throwing out like all these fancy terms, finance fancy terms. So I just started like researching that more and more. In high school too, I did like just some random internships at like manufacturing companies, just exposing me into the business side. So I would say that was like kind of the start of everything. And then over COVID too, I got really into like investing and checking out like Wall Street bets and stuff.
Oh yeah, that was the that was
Yeah, like
a
the
that
craze,
was a,
right?
the craze. Yeah,
The BlackBerry and GameStop, meme stock,
AMC.
yeah, AMC.
Yeah.
So I would say like once I got into Duke, I had a pretty good sense of business finance. That's something that I know I want to pursue. So econ made the most sense. And then once I got to Duke, like everyone there is everyone in econ at least is a high achiever. So the only two jobs that people talk about are like consulting or investment banking. So once I got to Duke, like I kind of just was funneled into that path, like just by following upperclassmen who I knew. And so, I decided investment banking was something I wanted to pursue just because I felt that it would give me a lot of experience, especially just starting right out of undergrad. And of course, like the pay is very lucrative long term, and definitely one of my career goals.
Great. Yeah, no, I like the last part in terms of lucrative pay. I can't wait for you to
Whoa,
buy me the
whoa.
meals that you've promised me over the years.
I paid for some of your meals you're talking about. When you came to Duke, I guess who was paying for like half the meals?
Hey, that's not true.
That is true. What do you mean?
No, no, that's debatable.
Nah, what are you talking
Remember that time I took you to Charlotte and back? Yeah, that's right.
about?
Now that you're back in California,
Yep.
so you have what, 7 months of downtime?
Yeah. Long time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, I mean, what's your plan now? We talked about, you know, you going to the gym a little bit,
Yeah. Yeah.
and what else were you planning to do?
So planning to also try to travel.
Oh
When
yeah,
I
that's
can.
right.
Yeah. So
Yeah, yeah.
Japan.
Japan. Yeah, right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So how's that plan going?
Yeah. Well, if we can finally actually plan our stuff out, then maybe we can have something on the calendar. But guess we'll
Yeah.
have to do that once this is finished recording.
Yeah, I like your hair too, by the way.
Oh, yeah. I was wearing a hat earlier in the other recording too, and I guess I just
I mean, you can
jumped
grab
on.
your hat if you want, dude.
No, I think the world should see my beautiful
Your
hair.
hair is really long.
It's
It's
not that.
disgusting.
I'm trying to go to. I'm trying to change my hairstyle. I don't think my hair's that long.
Hold on. Okay, so you're trying to change your hairstyle, but what is your ideal hairstyle? What are you going for? Because it's like really
See, I don't know. Like at first, I thought maybe I should do a mid part, but then
okay.
I don't know that looked good on me. I think I'm just gonna go to a barber and just ask them like, what can you do to save me?
Yeah, your head. I don't know.
Hey, whoa, whoa.
I
Hey,
can't
you have the same head. Hey,
what?
what's wrong with my head?
Yeah, it's not. I don't know. It's pretty lengthy. That's all. Like it just doesn't look very organized right
We'll
now
we'll
because
see.
your hair. It's like
I
you got
know.
that
I
strand
know.
that's like going down. I'm just like, what is this?
I don't know.
Sure, you don't want your cap?
Okay, maybe we'll get my cap.
A few moments later.
How you feeling now?
I guess I feel better.
Nah, it's good. No, look, you gotta be clean. Look at this
Oh,
hair.
oh, look at that iPhone X looking hair.
Yo, there's nothing wrong with
Dude.
having nice,
Oh my,
clean shaven
oh my
hair.
god, you look like you're in the military.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for your service.
Whatever. Anyways, why Japan? Because again, there's a lot of countries on our list, right? We talk about Japan, Vietnam has to be on there because we're Vietnamese. That is our motherland.
We
We
definitely
gotta
gotta
go.
go. Vietnamese gang.
That's right.
That's
Korea
right.
too, because
Korea.
of K-pop, and I like the food there. I mean,
I
I
like
like
the
the food
food.
there
Hey,
too, and the culture.
yeah.
So I really want to go to all those places, but we can only go for 2 weeks.
We could change that to a month.
How?
What do you mean how?
I work.
Oh yeah, I forget.
Anthony works too. Because
Take some more time off for it. I don't know.
how? We don't have
Man,
enough
I
PTO for
forgot
that.
these guys don't have 6 months.
Yeah, we're not
leave.
like you. Okay, you're still on your little
Yeah.
holiday between college
So
and
great.
starting your job.
Yeah.
So blah blah
The
blah.
last
right?
one I'll ever have.
Yeah, that's sad. But
That's sad. So
why?
sad.
Well, why Japan? Why not the other countries?
I feel like it's kind of like a trap question that he wants to get an answer. I mean, I'll say like in middle school and high school, like I used to be big on anime. I was never a weeb though. Don't love
What
me.
is that supposed to mean?
I didn't have a body pillow.
What? Wait, hold on.
Wait, what?
No, okay, you're right. You're right. I know.
What do you? He had bro had to think about it. He had to think
No, I
if
mean,
I ever
I
had
felt
one.
like you've talked about this in the past.
But yeah, I mean, I'd say middle school, high school, anime was like a big part of like stuff that I watched, and I would say like that is the beginning of why I wanted to go to Japan, just
Yeah.
because that's how I got exposure. I was like, oh my god, they're so cool. Like maybe if I go, they'll have like flying swords and shit too. I don't know. But I've just noticed over the past few years, I don't really like enjoy watching anime anymore.
Why is that? Is it just the
I
plots
don't
or
know.
just the quality that's been coming out?
No, I don't know. Like I just think I'm growing out of it. I don't know, like, there's like an anime I tried watching, like Spy X Family.
Spike's Family is I mean, I like it. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's one of the rare ones that I can watch now
Mhm.
because I'm similar to you. It's just anime used to be a big thing earlier on in my life, particularly like during college, but felt like I grew out of that too.
Yeah.
So like, now it's just like it's hard to really get into it again. There's only a select few.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I even couldn't really watch, like, I couldn't just I don't know, my attention span is really bad too now, but, like, I don't know, just didn't appeal to me in the same way, so I just haven't really watched. But, you know, based off that now, like, I just think that mainly the reason why I wanna go to Japan is,
Yeah.
the culture is really is really nice to, like, learn about, and I just think, like, being able to go and sightsee and
Yeah.
visit all these
Yeah.
different landmarks would be really cool. And I mean, the food, man, the food
The
is so
food is
good.
good.
The food's so
I've
good.
heard great things about it.
Yeah.
Quality
Yeah.
and yeah, no, I agree with you. And I think also to I mean, this is a good time. I feel like this is a good time to travel internationally
Yeah, for sure.
in terms of just in terms of like the exchange rate, the currency.
Yeah, it's like a 35% discount
Yeah,
everywhere, basically.
yeah. So, I mean, and there's a lot of things going on in this world right now, for sure. I understand
Yeah.
the concerns are out there for traveling abroad, but I mean, it's still a good time.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
Japan is safe. I mean, like, that's the safest place that you could probably go to, the safest country. As long as you stay out of trouble, you should be fine.
Oh yeah, definitely stay out of trouble. So just avoiding all the
Yeah.
sketchy
Don't go to the
establishments.
sketchy establishments, don't have run-ins with the Yakuza.
Kind
How
of,
hard is that? How hard is that?
I don't know. You tell me.
Yeah, it's easy. It's easy. This should be life advice for everyone.
Yeah, great life advice.
Yeah.
Just that or just stay at home. Just avoid
Yeah.
all the trouble. So
Yeah, what's danger? Just avoid it.
now,
Just avoid it. Just walk away. I don't know.
yeah, just walk away. Like okay, okay, cool. So all right, so yeah, we just gotta sit down and actually plan out the Japan trip.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
I've been wanting to.
Well, where is it? You're the
Well,
one that
okay,
want.
we're
You're
gonna
the
do it.
one that wants to go.
We're gonna do it
I
right
feel-
after this ends. We're gonna go do it. I'm gonna buy the ticket. We're gonna buy a ticket.
Really?
Yeah, we will.
Okay. But you take the charge for that.
I don't know. I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
That means a lot. You just
No,
you
I'm
can
not.
plan out. It's your dream trip.
Dude, how hard is it to plan? Just go to Japan.
I guess
So yeah,
so.
that's the plan.
I kind of want to go to Vietnam too.
We
have
could
good-
go.
Huh?
You go to Vietnam somehow.
We can all go. We're literally there. Maybe we could squeeze in a couple days.
Yeah, a couple days. Why not?
Yeah. Why not?
It's like cheaper too. It's like $100.
Yeah.
for a
Yeah.
flight.
But I mean, I feel like there's some people that have expressed hesitancy on wanting to go.
No, who could do that?
So
But yeah, I mean, I want to go. I need to be more in touch with my Vietnamese game. You know?
your motherland, your mother tongue, all that.
Yeah.
So-
Well, I don't know. I can't speak the mother tongue very well, so I don't know.
You have right now. You have this time until you start in what, July?
Yeah, July.
Where you can also practice your Vietnamese. Have you thought about that?
See, like the thing with foreign language is like, I don't know. It's like hard for me to really get into. Like, I don't really pursue that for a reason. Like, just because it's like at our age, it's really hard to learn a new language. In college, I took 3 semesters of Japanese, and in high school, I took Spanish. But that's because it was required. And like now, I don't even remember anything because like Japanese was really hard. I had so much work. We had like oral exams, but I don't even remember anything now. And it's just like that's how I feel with if I took these 6 months to learn Vietnamese. Like, okay, maybe I'll be good, somewhat good for those 6 months. But then I'm gonna like forget because I already know I'm gonna be so busy. Like, I don't even know if I'll have time to practice.
The key is to be able to practice, like to actually speak with another person, like versus just studying it. Studying is a
That's true.
so. I mean,
that's
you
true.
literally have parents that speak Vietnamese. Your practice is there. You just call. I feel like you just need.
Yeah,
to talk
I'll
to them
call
every
home
day.
the yacht, right?
I mean, it's not that way, but
Yeah.
I think you have the opportunity to learn. It's there. Vietnamese comes in handy in certain situations where we don't want people to eavesdrop in the
That's true.
conversations.
That's true.
And you know, it gives us a sense of privacy. unless you're in a group of other Vietnamese people, then there's no privacy. You're
There's no
you're
privacy.
screwed. Well,
Yeah.
goodbye. So you've picked up on words. You've tried to speak Vietnamese.
I've tried. I
Do
can say
you want to
something.
share with the world some Vietnamese words that you know? Putting you on the spot.
Uh,
Like you
uh,
know how to introduce yourself in Vietnamese?
Chào em khỏe không? I know a few phrases, I grew
What's
up
the am in this situation?
with viewers.
Oh damn.
I just winked at them too.
Riz. Okay. But you've also picked up some Chinese as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's because my girlfriend's Chinese, and she's taught me a few words here and there.
Okay. And
So
I've heard some good reviews on
yeah,
Chinese.
no, I've been told my Chinese, like my intonation, is very good, like my pronunciation.
Okay, then you have to demonstrate it. All right. So
Okay.
okay, want to do a scenario? You want to greet me?
你好, Alex.
你好.
我很喜欢冰淇淋.
Bro, dude.
My vocab is very limited, but my pronunciation is there.
So okay, so your girlfriend's been teaching you Chinese, but I mean, I feel like if you're able to pick up words in Chinese, you should be able to speak Vietnamese just fine.
I pick up words in Vietnamese, but it doesn't
Okay.
mean I can fluently speak it. It's like that's like different level.
Okay.
Again, like at our age, it's harder. There's
Okay.
studies to show that.
But I mean, if you're able to pick up words still, right? And if your girlfriend who speaks Chinese is able to rub off some of her language with you, right? And you're able to talk, then it works out.
I guess I could. I mean, I have time. I could. I would love to be able to go to Vietnam and be able to greet the locals and think, wow, a Vietnamese boy. What a fine Vietnamese boy.
5 Vietnamese boy. So you were talking about this earlier too, on how your girlfriend, when she first met you, I guess you were her first Vietnamese boy.
Yeah. I mean, she has had very little encounters with Vietnamese people, if at all. So I was like the first Vietnamese person she got to know and then date as well. And I remember on our first date, she said something to me. She asked if I knew this one food,
Uh-huh.
and she said something in Chinese, and I was like, "Girl, what? I'm not Chinese. What?" If she watches that, that's funny as hell. But she thought I was Chinese, and I've actually gotten a lot of people who have told me that I look Chinese, which is surprising because my whole life I was like, I look Vietnamese as hell. But some people think I look Chinese, but it might be because there's not a lot of Vietnamese people in Durham, or I guess Chicago even, because
That's surprising. Chicago's a big city. I would
yeah,
imagine Vietnamese people
yeah,
there. I mean, she does live in the suburbs though.
true.
So I just find that fascinating that you were her first Vietnamese person she's interacted. So you're telling me that in her whole life she's never been to like a pho place or
I think she has, but
so she has interacted with Vietnamese
well,
people.
I don't know if it's like interact. I would say maybe like get to know or like know person, because like I don't know.
Okay. That's I get that. Why did you choose Duke again? Why not stay here locally? Why not attend UC Irvine? We're good too.
I will say that coming up high school, I didn't want to stay in the area because I really didn't want to go to high school 2.0. I wanted to go out and get a new perspective. So that was one of the main reasons why Duke was cool. Like I'd be able to go there. I'd be far away from my parents on a different coast.
Yeah.
And and get to meet like a more diverse set of people. So that was a big reason. And then, I mean, obviously Duke is like a top 10 school and it's amazing for econ. So I just decided that made the most sense for me.
That's true. And I think back now too, because I remember in terms of the college selections that you had on your list.
Mhm.
Wasn't University of Illinois on there or University of Chicago? I don't remember.
Oh, U Chicago.
U Chicago.
Chicago.
Yeah. That was on your list. I just find that funny now because your girlfriend is from
Yeah.
the area.
Yeah.
But I mean, now looking back, you've gone through the different stages now in your life, right? You've gone through all the different schools. You're essentially done, unless you go into business school. Looking back, is there anything that you would have done differently?
Like in terms of
Just
what?
like career wise, goals wise, like anything that you felt like you may have missed out in your life,
Mm,
you know? Because it seems like you've been very focused
yeah,
on getting to where you need to be in your career,
right.
and you've
Yeah.
met some of your personal goals too. I'm just curious as to if there was anything that you were wanting to do back
Mhm.
then that you just never got the chance to do.
Yeah. So this is a very multi-layered question. I'll just start with
Mm,
first of all with U Chicago. The reason why U Chicago was really pushed was yeah, like their economics department was really good, but I'll say that's mostly like their research.
mhm.
Um, which again, like I think for a lot of people when they look at colleges, they'll just look at like a ranking and they'll just be like, "Oh my god, like
Yeah.
I had to go here. It's like one above this school. I would rather go here." But like if you properly take into the context, like a lot of these rankings take into account like graduate level research,
Mhm.
which as an undergrad, that's not as applicable to you. So I wouldn't weight rankings that heavily.
Yeah.
I will say they're a good indicator. So I mean, of course, it could be still important to look at it. What drew me to Duke over, like U Chicago, I just think the culture, like basketball culture at Duke is amazing. I've like tented the games and
Yeah, yeah. You have.
we can get into that
I
later.
I feel like basketball was the biggest
That
reason why.
okay.
That is the working theory here.
It's not the biggest. It was certainly
I
a
feel
good
like it
reason.
was a big factor in your decision.
It was cool. It's cool
Duke
to
has a strong basketball
yeah.
program.
Like
I
I
would
think
go.
I
Yeah.
think being able to go to school and actually having school spirit for their sports, like I never had that till I came to Duke. In terms of like what I would do differently or like what my path was like, I'd say that I'm actually content with my path. Like I don't regret anything related to careers or anything. Like
Yeah.
obviously I'm gonna go into investment banking. That's something I've wanted to do. And I think that that'll be a good like platform for me to gain a lot of relevant skills.
Mhm.
If I had to say something that, I wish I'd realized earlier, I guess some of that is that, like in high school, I felt that I really just put so much time into studying
Yeah.
because I was of the mindset like, oh, if I have free time, I should be studying. I should be maximizing
Yeah.
my grades and whatever for college. But once I got into college, I've realized that I'm actually able to like balance having a life with studying. Like I don't need to be studying all day. And in fact, most successful people that I know are like going to parties and they're like doing wild shit while also studying. And that's not to say you should party all day and then study,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's good to have balance for perspective in a lot of things. And I kind of wish I had realized that earlier in my life, just so that
Yeah.
I could, maybe explore more hobbies and
Yeah.
such.
I feel like you've done a good job in balancing everything out because you had a life in high
I
school.
mean, you too.
No, I didn't.
You had friends.
I had friends, but that doesn't mean I had a life. I just had a hard time with high school, with the classes, and so I needed more time. If I need more time, that's gonna cut away from
Right.
whatever the
Yeah.
social experience
Yeah.
I could have had. And then college too, like I commuted. I didn't live in the dorms like you did, so I didn't really have that college experience until I moved out to Baltimore to complete my pharmacy school.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
when I got the experience. Like, oh yeah, I'm living away from home. I have to figure out how to do adult things, learn how to cook, right?
Yeah.
So, but I think for you, you obviously lived a different life. So you've had the opportunities. I think you were able to figure it out, which is why you're in this position now where you're about to start a pretty good job, like a pretty well established career in investment banking. That job is super stressful
It's so stressful.
and it requires more commitment
Yeah.
than most jobs would require, right? Like, how many hours on average do the investment bankers usually work in a
Mm.
span of a week?
I mean, it depends on whether or not there's a live deal. Meaning, if there's like a client that's like in the process of selling their company or acquiring another one.
Yeah, yeah,
So if you're in a live deal, I would say it's like you could probably expect 80 to 100 hours a week.
yeah.
I would say if things are slow, 60 to 80 would
Mm.
be pretty good to expect. I mean, when I was an intern, oh my god, there were definitely a couple weeks where I worked 100 hours.
Jeez.
But I will say, like, it wasn't as bad as I thought it'd be, just because like I really liked the class of interns I was working with. Like, we're all
Yeah.
pretty close, so
Yeah.
that made it feel a lot better. It just felt like I was like staying up with like some friends to do work, you know. So
I mean, it's good to put in a different perspective to help
yeah,
kind of go through whatever challenges that you might experience in job.
for sure,
Jesus,
sure.
that is a lot though.
That's a lot.
So, I mean, also looking back too, what do you feel has been some of your greatest accomplishments?
I haven't won like awards really or many, but I will
Just like,
say
like honor roll, like every year or
I
every.
don't know. I don't know. Like nothing like I know so many people at like, especially Duke, who are like national champions for whatever they do.
Okay. Okay. Fair.
But I will say getting to Duke was definitely a big accomplishment for me, just because I really didn't think I'd get in. I told everyone, I was like, I'm not gonna get in. But no. Mostly because I didn't feel like my resume was like that crazy, didn't stand out that much, and because I'm like a Asian male from SoCal, like that is such a
What's
over.
that supposed to mean?
There's nothing racist about it. It's just I'm just
Wait. We don't know what the
whoa.
racist.
Okay,
Whoa,
I'm just saying.
Hold on.
We might have to cut this out. I'm just saying statistically, it's a lot harder for Asian males from even SoCal. Like, there's so many of us.
Why does it sound like you're saying something from like a dating statistics? Like, oh, Asian males
No,
have
no, no,
far-
no. That no. I'm just saying that, like, you know, it requires more to stand out, because you know, like, it is a lot of people from here are very impressive, so it takes a lot more to stand out.
I get that. Yeah.
So it was cool that I was able to get in. I was very happy. And then another thing was, you know, actually getting my offer in investment banking. That required so much work, like over 60 coffee chats and like countless interviews in the months of February and March. So I'm just glad that that's over with and that I was able to secure something.
Yeah.
I personally don't think I have like any innate talent that some people may have, but I just think like hard work, you know, like putting your mind to it and just grinding through is the reason for a lot of successes I've had. And I'm sure it's the same for you. Like, I'm sure you feel the same way with the things that you've done in your life. So
Oh yeah. It's all about the grind and just the different challenges, obstacles, experiences that you go through.
right.
I mean, that makes
Yeah.
the accomplishment much more fulfilling.
For sure.
You also said something about like, you know, the need to stand out. Well, exactly what did you do, or what did you feel made you stand out to say, hey, yeah, I want to take a chance on this guy?
I'd say first of all, like, I guess to any college prospect that's like looking at this, you need to have like good grades. Like, that's just a baseline for these colleges anyways.
Okay.
Like, you have good grades, good SAT.
I feel like every Asian male in SoCal
Okay.
has good SAT and good grades.
Well, that's not every person. I don't want to put down some people who, but I mean, like, some schools, like, they say, like, I think Duke might even be test optional now, but even if they say optional, you should still take it and submit, obviously.
Okay.
This is like, I'm like giving advice now to like any.
Wow, dude.
Yeah. Other than that's just kind of like a baseline. I feel like my extracurriculars were not like crazy, but they were different.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I interned as a high schooler for like just like random companies in the industrial sector, which I'm sure a lot of kids wouldn't even think about working for like a textile manufacturing company or like at Cheese's, you know. So I would say that was something that kind of made me stand out in like a niche way, and I certainly wrote about that in my essays.
Okay.
And then, you know, I had random like clubs. Like, I was president of a club that we had.
What club was this? Wait, hold on.
It was like a volunteering club.
Oh.
And I remember I joined the board like as a sophomore, and originally they were called like the Sundays Delights Club, and they would like go to like these shelters and volunteer that gives food to the homeless. I remember when I took over, I was so confused by the name. I changed the name to Help Club.
What?
Because I thought it'd be more
Help club. Help.
Yeah, yes. I
Okay.
don't even remember. It was supposed to stand for something like helping. Yeah, I had helping as one of the
Helping,
acronyms. I don't even remember what the acronym was. I remember we were taking yearbook photos and we would have our clubs. And you would have the name of your club on a side. I don't remember who was holding it, but
Send help.
yeah, one of the picture is literally someone holding a sign that just says help. I gotta find that in the yearbook at some point. But
Oh my god.
yeah, it's just like random club involvements like that where I was like volunteering. And then I'd say another like probably something that helped me stand out was my essay. I wrote about my forehead.
Of all the
So
details.
so in my essay, I think the prompt was like, tell us about like a difficult challenge you overcame. I believe it was something of that nature. And I wrote about my forehead because I just feel like my whole life I've been memed for my forehead. Like I don't really take that much offense to it. But I wrote about it because I was like, okay, this is like, kind of like a challenge. Like I had to deal with a lot of people calling me names and stuff, which I'm sure like I'm not saying they were like malicious or anything, but um yeah, I wrote about how like people would call me like Megamind or or they would compare me
Megamind.
to Miami Heat LeBron James with his hairline. And I just think like the way I wrote it, it was like so funny that I'm sure that when like the admissions counselor read it, they're like, I can't believe they wrote like this and about this. So I would say like having an essay that really just shows who you are. Like I'm a pretty goofy guy. So
I think you just told them you had a big forehead.
well, that too. Like I'm now they'll be like, oh, this is the big forehead mofo, right? He stands out, right? So I would say like I was pretty proud of the essay.
What are your goals in the next 5 years? Where do you want to be at?
Next 5 years.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm thinking I'm just gonna still follow like the traditional finance path, which for those of you who don't know, like a lot of people who go to investment banking after their 2 years as an analyst, they'll exit into the buy side, which are essentially like opportunities for investing. So like private equity, venture
Yeah.
capital. That's definitely like kind of what I'm thinking. After 2 years, I'll go private equity, and then maybe after that, I'll go back to business school
Yeah.
because one of my potential long-term goals is that I'll maybe own my own consulting firm or just my own business in general. And I think having the experience that I have will help me have a good foundation for that. But I mean, I'm only 21. Like my goals change all the time.
Future's very fluid as always. Everything can change it.
For sure, yeah.
It depends on what you come across that could pivot you towards one direction or another. But you have all this time. Is there any other hobbies that you're looking to try out?
I will say, sometimes I kind of miss playing violin.
No, what?
Okay.
Dude, I gotta hold on.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, whoa, whoa, whoa. Let's back up. I don't miss maybe playing in an orchestra. Maybe I don't.
Why? What's wrong with waking up at 6 in the morning?
Uh,
And
oh, I just don't think it was for me. And yeah, I don't know why we woke up at 6 in the morning.
because our orchestra was at 6:45 a.m.
Zero period. You know they changed it.
So what?
I think now, like after like it's like zero period starts at like 8 now every day because they implemented this thing where they're trying to like help kids sleep better.
Wait, how?
So like school starts later.
But then it ends later too.
It ends later
How's that help sleep?
because then you don't have to wake up. I don't know. Or, I don't know.
Because if it ends later, that means everything is pushed back.
Well, the idea is that you would finish your work before midnight somehow.
I mean, that was always the expectation.
I know,
You
but
would
like,
still end up staying up to like 2 in the morning.
but okay, you stay up till 2, but then you wake up at 9 rather than 6 or 8 or whatever.
I guess
That's
like,
the idea. Yeah.
if I get off at 4 p.m. from school and then I have to do my sports or whatever activities, and then I have to go home eat dinner, and then by the time it's time to do work, it's 9 p.m.
Dude, I don't know. You should be asking.
These are legitimate
yeah,
questions.
I don't know,
Anyways,
man. But yeah, violin. Not necessarily that I want to go back to playing violin, but I think like I kind of want to go back to like playing an instrument. And like last year, you were really into playing the ukulele.
I was, yeah.
I don't think I've never heard of him bring it up again.
I still
So
have it. It's
he
just I
still,
haven't.
yeah,
I've just been busy. Busy.
man finds a new hobby every like year and
It's
then
worth
forget.
experimenting, you
True.
know?
Okay, that's true.
Like you gotta do that to find what you like and enjoy.
Yeah.
So I mean, ukulele one moment, and who knows what's next.
Podcasting the next moment.
That goes away too. No, but and yeah, that violin or
Yeah, yeah,
instrument.
yeah.
That's.
I mean,
Is there an instrument you want to try? Then?
yeah. I was just about to say. I kind of wanted to try ukulele or guitar.
Bro, then buy an instrument. I'm still waiting.
Why don't you just give me yours? Why don't you bring it
It's
home?
technically not mine. I'm borrowing it from a friend. I still have to return it. So
But yeah, I kind of wanted to try practicing ukulele. We'll see. There's like a few songs that I want to learn.
oh snap.
Um, I don't know if I told you this, but I've been like really big into like karaoke.
We all know that you're Asian. It's part of the DNA.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like I tried out for like a cappella group in college just for fun. I actually got past the first round when I thought I was just a horrible singer. So regardless, like that, the art kind of like music,
Yeah.
artistic side is something I want to explore.
Yeah.
And I'd say maybe another thing is to finally get good at basketball. I'm like so tired of being, you know, a Draymond Green type of player, only play defense. Like I want to take Curry's masterclass because I saw this YouTube video where this guy practiced using Curry's masterclass techniques for 50 days, and he actually like improved all his shooting across everywhere.
Wait,
to
just
like
shooting drills or dribbling as well? Because
I think
Curry
it's just,
does all like the tennis ball. And
I think it was just shooting, but he was like shooting like 50-60% from every spot on the court.
oh wow.
He improved to that.
I yet have not seen you wanting to go out to the court.
I do want to go. I want to go.
Really? You're all about I wanna do get swole and I don't want to do cardio.
Okay, well, I don't want to do basketball right after like the gym, especially
Why
leg
not?
day.
Why
Leg
not?
day.
For what?
These boys are gonna be tired.
That's the point.
Also, every time I like try to play basketball after I lift, don't you like my arms feel really weird?
No, they feel good. I mean, I used to lift and then play basketball. It makes it more challenging, but that's the point.
I had to get my endurance up. Like playing a
That's what I'm
5-on-5
saying.
full court, I think I die.
Well, you're young, you're 21, like you said.
Well, I had asthma as a kid. saying my endurance has always been pretty bad.
You were literally in track and field in high school.
That doesn't mean I did like long distance running.
What were you doing?
I did like 100, 200 and jumps.
100-meter relay
Yeah.
that requires running.
This is 100 meters.
Then 200.
Okay, that was pretty tiring.
You guys get disqualified at one time.
I did because I dropped the we don't need to go into that. That's
go
my
back to past trauma.
God damn it.
I'm gonna take the time and sit down and go through it.
No.
I feel like you like food,
Dude, who doesn't like food?
but I feel like you like food.
There's
Like,
people who don't like food.
Yeah, there are. The people just eat just to survive, and then there's you that just eats because there's a variety and you just want to enjoy everything.
That's I do.
Why don't you become a foodie? You can do that.
I could, but first of all, I don't have a car
Okay.
right now. So how am I gonna go anywhere?
You have a bike. You have a scooter. You have your legs.
I'll
You
be
can
a
walk.
foodie.
What's wrong with that? The
Actually,
food around here is literally so close by. How can you not?
I could. Also, it's expensive. I'm poor right now.
I think you should become a foodie.
I would love to.
Set up
I
an
want to.
Instagram page and start just
Okay,
vlogging.
I'll be Popeye's Diaries 2. Bring it back. Bring it back.
Bring back the Popeyes
Yeah,
Diaries.
bring it back. The people want it.
The people want it.
people
What
want it.
people? What people want my
Brian wants it.
name drop? We're name
Oh,
dropping.
we're name dropping. He's gonna watch this. He said he'd watch this.
Is he?
He's gonna watch it.
Okay.
Brian wants to see it.
Okay. So I mean, give the viewers more context. So I used to have, well, not used. I still have a Instagram page that was dedicated towards Popeyes, as in the fried chicken place. It was called Popeyes Diaries, and I set that up during my third year of pharmacy school. The reason why I did that was I always wanted to experiment kind of the food blog process on Instagram, and I really like Popeye's fried chicken. And I figure it's like, hey, I might as well just start documenting my journey, like going to the different Popeyes in like the different cities, different states. So it's like wherever I was going, like I had to have a stop, uh, just where I visit a Popeyes and had their chicken. But it's literally all the same. Like I literally just skipped the leg and thighs. It all became just very
Yeah.
bland in terms of the things I was posting. Quality, honestly, I couldn't really tell a difference. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
it's either crunchy or not crunchy. It's either fresh or not fresh. And then just eating the amount of fried chicken I had, that definitely made my cholesterol levels go up. So in terms of health purposes, I had to cut back on that. But even so, I tried to transition more into just regular different varieties of food. So like in my later posts, like I had different types of food on there, but I kind of stopped keeping track of that because it's a lot of work to review the foods. But I mean, if it's what the people want, I can try again. It's
Bring it
just,
back. They want it. They want to
oh
see it.
man, you can do it. I gotta retire from that. I
Take
just
over.
it's a lot. But yeah, Alan, it was good having you on, talking about
Yeah,
your life
for
and
sure.
just your goals and where you like to be at, and just a lot of variety that we discussed today. And we can even look back at this video in 5, 10, 15 years and just
Yeah.
see where you are at now and see where you progressed since then. Before we go, is there anything else you want to share with our viewers?
As a wise man once said, anything is possible. So, if you got anything you want to do, make sure you do it. Also, shout out my Instagram. Make sure to drop a follow. Alan Lee 2996.
They're not going to spell that correctly. You're just gonna,
1E. Alan ALAN. You know, leave a like.
you literally have 2 posts on there. Like, no one's gonna like your shit.
But yeah, it was great. It was great being here today.
Until next time, I'm Alex,
I'm Alan.
and yeah, peace out. Bye.
Fuck.